Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
It's
So
good
far,
to see
Stephanie,
you. It's been a while.
It's been a long while. Everyone is looking well, thank God.
Yeah, you too.
How
So
are
are
you,
you.
Safara?
You too. Pardon?
I'm good. How are you, Safara?
I'm doing really well, doing so well,
Wow.
settling in.
And your little one?
He's doing so well. He's grown so much. He's 5 months next week. Can't
Wow.
believe it. It's gone quick. 5 months of a baby. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sakina, I know you've been working non-stop. How's it been?
Mum, it is. I'm tired. I want to get on the plane and go to Ghana. I'm tired. I'm gonna keep on seeing what I do this and do this because I'm keeping an eye out on all of my residents and making sure they're okay. At the moment, they look like they're all tucked up in their rooms, but anything can happen at any moment. So bear with me.
Yeah. Well done. What you're doing is remarkable. Just always remember that and draw strength from it, yeah? Well done, Saki. My Saki baby.
Oh, Auntie Lata.
As I have said to several people, like, you make it what you want it to be, don't you? Stephanie has, she has lived in the moment. Steph, tell us about what you've been doing.
At home, I'm thinking, what can I do? I stopped work because I couldn't cope with the whole homeschooling, 2 children plus a toddler. I was like, God, help me. But I stopped work, so I was like, okay. After like 3 weeks, I was fine. And I settled into it. I started enjoying it, really. I started enjoying every bit of it. And then I thought, yeah, what can we do? I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. This is the time I'm at home. I have so much free time. Let's get it done. Yeah. So yes, and I'm loving it so far. It's been
amazing,
yeah.
Amazing. It's really been a time of reflection. And at first, I didn't realize how much sleep I needed until the lockdown started.
Yeah.
Because there was now time for that extra lying. There was like no school run in the morning. So that extra lying, that extra sleep, I didn't realize how tired my body was. So the lockdown started off like a forced holiday for everyone. From, from that hot daily hustle and bustle, everyone was forced to stop. So that's a good side, if you ask me. This is a rare recording. I mean, we've been doing Instagram lives. All of us, in fact, have been doing lives, and we've not really had a chance to come together to do a recording like this. We're going to be talking about the rape and the Black Lives Matter situation that's been going on. We've been awakened to several incidents of rape from all over the world, literally, not just from parts of Africa, from India, from South Africa, femicide, they've been killing women, all sorts of things really have happened. They've been happening. Unfortunately, now everyone is in their front room, so everyone is noticing. We have noticed before, but it hasn't been in our face the way it has been in our face now. And then the Black Lives Matter movement, the killing of George Floyd came along and everybody went into a rage. So we have gathered today to talk about it. As girls, we come from our own fields of life, different phases, different positions, at different levels, we've come from. And we want to lend our voice to this. A Ladies Lounge TV show, we want to lend our voice to this. So let me start from Safara. Let's start from the rape incident. What have you made of it all?
Okay, so the first time I heard about the rape situation with regards to Seyitan was online on Twitter, where she shared her experience where D'banj allegedly had raped her. Now, I was really shocked and saddened that she'd gone through such an ordeal. A person coming into your room and assaulting you where you thought you were safe. It's just not on. And in this day and age, like D'banj is is a well-known celebrity. So for him to use his power, his influence, just so he could do that to a woman, to use her like that is disgusting, to be honest. I'm really disgusted as a man. There's a lot of people who look up to him, his his fans, other women. It just sets a really bad tone. It sets a really bad example. Women should be respected. We're not pieces of meat. We're not playthings. You can't go around and pay someone off just so you can like get one over on us. It's disgusting. It's just really it's saddening that the world is not a safe place for women in 2020. In 2020, we shouldn't be worried about strangers in the street or celebrities.
You started off by talking about Seyitan and the alleged rape. We do not know if what she says happened. Well, we do not doubt that it could have happened. I do not doubt that it could have happened. It could have happened. It's a may or may not situation. But in my own opinion, I feel like, the accusation of rape is very serious. It's serious for the person who is claiming they've been raped, and it's serious for the person who they've claimed raped them, because it can destroy his career. It can destroy his future. I had the privilege of having a small conversation with Seyitan when this happened, and the summary of what I could see was a girl in distress, bad distress. Maybe she didn't even count the cost of what would happen if and when she comes out. She may not have counted the costs, but it was a very, very big cost, being that he's a celebrity and all that. So I don't want to say too much, but let me go on to Sakina. Sakina, what's your take on all the rape allegations?
Personally, rape is rape, and it's been addressed as rape for a reason. But bottom line, Sakina don't agree with it. I just don't agree with rape whatsoever. Whether you're a man or a woman who is doing it to the opposite sex or the same sex, you have no right to violate anybody. Full stop. I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't. No one's God. So who do you think you are? That's how I feel. Also, in regards to allegations, and I will say it like that because I'm on the premise that it's an allegation until it's brought to justice. And I say justice like this because justice can be scaled on any particular level, and the justice system may not bring it to justice to the person of how they feel. But ultimately, bottom line, it's disgusting, and you should never, ever, ever, ever violate anybody in any which way. You have no right to put your hands on anybody or force them for something that is not yours. Don't care. That's how I feel about it. If you're a celebrity, you're not a celebrity, at the end of the day, everybody is still a human being. So who do you think you are to feel you have the right over somebody? That's how I feel. Because at the end of the day, it's only by the grace of God, we are who we are in the positions we are in the positions. Other than that, that's it.
Right. I know that when it comes to the talk about rape, the first thought goes to the man raping a woman. But it also happens the other way around. Yeah. But we can't deny that it is more of the men raping the women than women raping men. The proportion is higher with the women being raped by men. So that's why our minds go there. I don't know when women will stop being seen as playthings and instruments of pleasure or things like that. But yeah, it's grim. It's very grim to have to hear stories of women being forced to have sex. It's terrible, to say the least. I mean, come on, even on a normal day, Seth, I don't know about you guys. I mean, having sex on a normal day, it takes some convincing for most women. I mean, I don't know if I'm alone. I don't know if I'm alone,
sister. You are not alone.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
You need some good skills and some good convincing to get a woman to chill. Then how much more, when, it's being forced out of the woman. It doesn't only destroy the body, it destroys the spirit and the soul. It destroys everything. It takes away that freedom, that esteem they've managed to build, if any, because even children are being raped.
Exactly.
It's horrid. Stephanie, what's your take on all this?
I don't know where to start. It's so sad, as you said, in 2020 this is happening. And I think the other point is, I was reading on Twitter, and I know when the girl came out on the 16th of June, I think officers stormed her apartment and arrested her overnight just because she spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
who is that? Sorry, say again.
The
who
girl
came
that
out?
D'banj allegedly raped, she was arrested.
Yeah,
right. She was, yes,
by
speaking
D'banj
out
for speaking up. So I think we still live in a world, it's shocking that we still live in a world in 2020 where a woman can't come out freely and say, I have been raped. Most women, I think, go through this, but they're too scared to come out to talk.
Yeah, because
most kids or young girls go through this. They are too scared to talk because the society will tell them, oh, because of what you wore, or because you shake your bum this way, or because you did that. It's just heartbreaking. I just hope that something changed. I think going forward, I think it'll be good for the world, for women to be able to have confidence and come out and damn more consequences. Because when I read about that, I think what they were trying to do is to stop her from talking. That's like if you say anything, you're gonna get arrested. So he's so powerful, and he's so, if you say anything against someone, of that stature, you'll be arrested. So it's very sad that it's still happening at this in 2020. It's just very heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. It's very heartbreaking indeed. We've all really, we're all standing with one voice indeed. Not just us, but all women all over the world, to be used as playthings and, as non-human beings. It's man's inhumanity to man, you see, to see a human being and seize the person and force the person to do something against their will. It's horrible. We're going to be talking more about this. So we're going to go on a break first. When we come back, we'll see a clip from my interview with Seyitan. Please don't go anywhere. So how are you?
I'm fine.
Okay. My name is Data. Yeah. So I'm your host pretty much from Voxafrica. You're okay to talk today, yeah?
Yeah, I think I feel much better today.
Okay. So tell us about yourself. Tell us your name. Tell us what you do. Tell us everything about yourself.
My name is Seyitan. I'm a student. I also bake, and I also, I don't know, just bake, and I'm still in school. Basically, that's all.
Okay, so you're a student and you bake.
Yeah, that's all.
What school are you in?
ISCOM University, Benin Republic.
So we saw your post on Twitter, yeah? And obviously that has caused an uproar. I'm wondering about the background noise.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yesterday I couldn't sleep at home because I was getting a lot of different messages, and it was like really down for me because I was totally not myself all through yesterday, because I wasn't really ready for all of this. I told my friend about the story, and then he posted it on Instagram, and then people started coming for me that I need to talk, that it looks like I'm lying, that I paid a blog to come and lie on D'banj, and I'm like, I didn't lie on D'banj, this didn't happen. Then I tweeted my own side of the story on Instagram, and then people started coming for me. Yesterday I got like death threat. I don't know if they're fans, but they're like, oh yeah, we shouldn't get you, or we shouldn't. Then I had to leave my house to sleep in the hotel. That's why I told you I didn't have enough network. So I'm on my way home, and that's why you can hear my friends in the background, because they were all scared for me, and they all came to pick me this morning. The both of them came to pick me this morning because they are just two.
Yeah, we got her, talking about going to hotel to sleep and then, going back home. It was a bit all over the place. So I'm just going to go round again. What did you make of that?
Listen, yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I'm already like, huh? Bruh, if that had to go to a court to decide, my friend, forget about it. Listen, I'm going to say, I tried to say everything I tried to say with all due respect, yeah, but is all I can say right about now. I don't know. That's just the 5 seconds or whatever.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Sakina. But we can't. I don't want to use the word judge. I'm trying not to use.
Yeah, we can't, but we can as well. But I'm not trying to say I'm trying to judge it.
We can't place a matter in a particular place.
What I'm trying to say is, from what I saw, I'm just left like, because I'm waiting for the story, because I still didn't hear what she was saying. I don't know if she was even prepared. Did she know she was coming to do this? Did anybody speak to her beforehand from her side to prepare her from that? Because it looked like she was on a road trip just to go to the shops or something. Like, let's just chat to what, and that's it. It just didn't seem serious. And for me, that's why I was left like, I'm listening, and I'm still ready to listen. I'm not here to judge anybody, but until you're ready to tell me your story or your side, I'm listening. And that's how I feel, because right about now,
we wouldn't know, we wouldn't get her story from this interview.
Oh no. And the thing is, I also want to say as well, Data, that even if she did speak and say her whole story, even if she said just 5 seconds, I still wouldn't come off and say, yeah, she's telling the truth. And I wouldn't come off and say, yeah, she's lying. No, because that's just a moment in time. At the end of the day.
Do you know that someone can come on the screen with so much passion and so much tears in their eyes, and they can still be lying?
Exactly. That's why it's called acting.
We can't get it like that, really. We really can't get it like that. When we went off, when we went off air that day, I had the same position as you, Sakina, because I was like, what just happened? Like, okay, she was in a car. I kept asking, should we actually do this? Should we actually do this? But when I sat back to think about it, the post on Twitter came out the day before. So we were pretty much about
so that would be too much. That would be very overwhelming.
People contacting her. We were about, so she wasn't ready. She didn't know.
When you put that in perspective, that the post only came out less than 24 hours, then I'm already thinking, okay.
She said that
we need all the information before I can turn around and say anything. And until then, I'm listening, because I don't know.
She said her friend is the one that posted it out, not her.
So she wasn't ready. And if it was a small boy by the side of the road that raped her, then I'm sure she would have, it's a mega star we're talking about. She has security, has fans that would beat her up, so for me, I understand. I felt the same way when I thought about it. She's just over the place. She's scared. She can't stay in her own house because her parents are probably at risk.
Yeah, I agree.
So she's shaking. Yeah. I don't think we can tell. It's like we can't tell people how they would feel or how
react.
People won't always give us what we expect from them. I think she's just shaking. It's a bit everywhere, but I just feel it's just overwhelmed.
To me, it seemed like she just wanted to be left alone. Like that is the initially, obviously the first bits were a bit like, whoa, what's going on here? But then when she did start kind of going into like what Sakina said, she had her small mousy voice, and then but her persona was just like, oh, can people just come and let me sleep, like leave me alone,
and then that's what it is, really. That's what it is. I can only imagine what she must have been doing before we finally got through to her. Or she said she was coming from a hotel and she was with friends who were supposedly helping her to get out of the whole, uproar of the whole thing.
All the different things of just initial things. Okay, this was recorded less than 24. I mean, the information came out less than 24 hours ago. she had been asked repetitively if she wants to do this, and she said yes, yes, yes. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, yes, yes. She comes on screen. Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, yes, yes. So many different things that it's going like tennis at the moment. And right about now, I've never liked tennis. I'm not really into sports. So I feel like sitting this completely way out. At the end of the day, I really empathize with her if she did go through this ordeal. And even if she didn't go through this ordeal and her name's been brought for it, I empathize with her again. It's not nice.
We've dwelled on Seyitan, but actually we weren't supposed to dwell only on Seyitan for this. We're talking about rape in general. But maybe anchoring on Seyitan's story because of how weird that interview was. So, and maybe we should keep anchoring on how weird rape usually sounds. A girl goes out and comes back and says, oh, someone raped me. Prove it. It's your word against theirs.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the crimes that you almost can hardly prove that it has happened. So as weird as that interview was, that's how weird rape is. So let's talk about how weird rape is. Someone has tried to rape me before, long time ago, before I got married. And it took me probably 15 years into marriage to even mention that kind of thing happened. Because the question will always be, I'm Nigerian, typical Nigerian, born and bred. What were you looking for there? They'll ask me. Because really, I even asked myself, what were you looking for there? I even asked myself. So the way our culture has, supported everything that has happened, because that's the way I choose to put it. The culture has supported the fact that a girl should keep quiet if she.
It's her fault.
Talk about
what she doing.
Stephanie, let's start from you.
What can I say? It's our culture, and it's something that we all grow up in. I was born and bred in Nigeria as well. And I think when you go and say someone touched you here, they'll be like, what did you do? What did you wear? You know, why did you put yourself in that situation? They sort of shift the blame from the person that you should be blaming to the person, to the victim. And I think that's what needs to change in Africa. And I think for girls as well, for we parents, I think what we need to do is to talk to our kids about this. If you have a girl child, talk to your child about this. A man shouldn't touch you anywhere. Please come and tell me. Because the thing is, from people that have heard their story, is the fear to even go and tell their parents that this has happened, or fear to talk out because they're scared that they'll be called an ashawo or a spoiled child. And it's really heartbreaking. It's really, really heartbreaking. I don't even know I'm talking, my heart is just heavy that people actually have to go through this, in life. It's terrible.
Yeah. And to think that, there are women, loads and loads. I mean, apart from rape, the general sexual harassment, the ugly remarks made at women, the referring to their boobs or their butt when they're walking down the road, all that is sexual harassment. And this is something that was normalized. But now we're speaking of, the women are speaking of, nobody wants to hear it, nobody wants to experience it, So we're at a point where we're jumping from not saying anything to at least saying something. And I give kudos to girls and ladies and women who are actually coming out 10, 15, 20 years later to say that this has happened to them. We just have to be careful. In as much as we don't want people to ask why we went to a place that put us in a vulnerable situation, in as much as we don't want to ask a girl who has been raped that kind of question, we too should be careful not to find ourselves in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we should be able to assess, the character of people who are dodgy. That's not to say that people who looked normal wouldn't try such rubbish. I mean, for me as a Christian, it's a matter of prayer every day, having girls and being a woman myself. I just hope that with the emergence of all the stories, that even the men will begin to check themselves before You know how someone would have just done something straight away without thinking. I'm hoping that because people have started speaking up, they'll have a second thought before putting their hands on any woman at all. So we can't exhaust the topic. And before we move on and go over to the next part of what we've gathered here for today, I'd like to say that one of the ways to be able to catch these people on their game is reporting as soon as it happens. That can be stress enough. Going to the hospital to get checked out as soon as it happens. I think we're past the era where a woman should be judged for being raped, no matter the circumstance. Whether she went to a nightclub, whether she was amongst guys and thought they were her friends, whatever the reason, whether an innocent reason or a reason that doesn't add up, go straight to the hospital and get checked out. No woman deserves to be, no man deserves to be raped or sexually harassed, as it were. Nobody deserves it. It's it's inhuman to force anybody to do anything. So we're going to go on a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to move over to racism, which is the second big thing that has happened while we've been on lockdown. So please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.